This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English, episode number 354, baby. Oh yeah. In today's episode we have Boom Boom Cannon. Yes, he is back and we talk about everything phone related, okay? We talk about phones because phones are big in people's lives, aren't they? Not really the best description in the world, I must admit, but that's what we talk about. But we do it in a real rock and roll way, as always, okay? I'm sure there are things I should tell you, but I can't really remember. So let's get straight to the conversation, which is here. I will talk to you at the end, but happy listening. Boom Boom Cannon, how are you today?
I'm very well, Martin. How are you?
Always fantastic, Boom Boom, especially after our pre-podcast conversation of pillows, talking about your... Oh, in fact, share it. Tell us your favourite pillow.
Yeah, so I have a really nice kind of firm memory foam pillow, and I can't sleep with anything else now.
So much so that when you're on holiday, you have been known to go home to get your pillow, right?
Yeah, that's true. I often now either bring it with me,
right,
or once a few years ago we were on holiday, not so far from home, and so I didn't have to travel that far back to get it. But I got to the hotel and I saw they had these kind of classic hotel pillows, you know, huge, fluffy. Your head sinks into them, and I immediately thought, this is not going to work for me and my neck.
I'm sure that was a great start to the holiday for Mrs. Boom Boom.
Oh yeah, she loved it. And I said, I'll just be back in a few hours. I'm going to get my pillow.
If that's not rock and roll, I don't know what is. So on to today's show. How do we usually start the show?
It's got to be with a review.
Yeah, do you think we have one?
Yeah.
See, you know what? I'm going to say yes, because I'm sure there is one out there. It's just no one has brought that to my attention. So let's say yes, but we're not going to read one. Okay, just to maintain the positive vibe. Okay. So on to today's pod. So last time you were on, I'm not sure if it was in the family pod, but we spoke about, which is something we'd spoken about before, how the thumbs up on if you respond to a message with a thumbs up, it's not something I particularly like, okay, but it just got me thinking about things connected to phones, because phones are a big thing in people's lives. So I thought we'll talk about phones, but not your standard questions, okay? We've got different things to talk about, okay?
From ChatGPT.
Yes, mostly yes. As I said, ChatGPT is so hilarious. Boom Boom. And the strange thing was that my memory of my free account of ChatGPT, it kept saying memory full and was being really slow. And so I started a new account and immediately just got my vibe again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I thought it was going to take time to build a relationship with my new account, but it didn't. Got straight into it. So in fact, the first one that it came up with is, are you at 10% battery and still vibing? Person. So as I said, that word vibing, just immediately understood what kind of man I am. Okay, I'm the kind of guy who says vibing. So are you a 10% battery and still vibing person, or it's 78%, I'd better charge it? What's your vibe?
Well, firstly, I'd like to say, I think vibe you say a lot. I don't know if I've ever heard you say vibing.
Yeah,
Russ, I'm vibing.
The
right
ing
now.
form. I'm just vibing, man. It's just the next step. As you said, I say vibe. Vibing is just the next step.
You should start.
To be honest, I would like to be cool enough to say vibing.
Vibing.
Not sure if I am.
No, I don't. I can't really remember what the point was now. But am I vibing with 10%? No.
Yeah. So you're not vibing. So I can imagine you are that it's 78%. I need to charge it, guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm closer to that than
really
vibing with 10% kind of guy. Yeah,
see, I really am. I do vibe with 10. I'm like, fuck it, I don't care.
Wow.
And I kind of feel that I want my phone to work hard. Okay, I want my phone to be a grafter, to get down to that red zone of the battery, and then you give it like a real good charge. I just feel just feel that's more what it's like. So I take it, charge it to 100, get it down to like even below 10. In fact, even if I'm at 7 or 8, I'll keep vibing. Good charge, and I'm good to go.
But this, I think, works in a situation where you have access to the charge.
Good point.
But can you vibe? I was going to say, can you be vibing? I don't know how you use that word. Can you still vibe, in a sort of precarious charging situation with 10%?
That is a good point. Okay, so here's the question: do you have a power bank?
Actually, I do, because we got bought one for Christmas, but I've not used it yet.
Okay, right. Well, whoever bought you that present, hopefully they're not
Mrs.
listening.
Boom Boom's dad, as his Christmas present.
The Christmas present was a power bank.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing that says the magic of Christmas more than a power bank, is there? So if people don't know, power bank is a thing. I like to call it a charger, because you need to charge it, and then
I have to call it a charger.
You then have to. Well, you have to charge it, and then you bring that with you, and then it will charge your phone on the go.
Yeah,
won't it?
It just sounds quite childish, I think. Charger.
Actually, I think it was my mum that coined that one. That is a strange thing, actually, how families make names of things. I'll never forget being at Corporal Comer's house when I was a child, and there was the TV remote, and someone in his family said, "Have you got the hoofer doofer?" And I was like, "What the hell is the hoofer doofer?" And that's what they used to call the TV remote.
Excellent. I've never heard that.
Yeah, so on the levels of ridiculous names, I don't think charger is actually that bad.
No, you have to be careful with things that are sort of words within the family that you take outside.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I do own a charger, or what is the real name again?
Power bank, I think.
Bank, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So I do own one of them. I bought that for a time where I knew I was going to be out all day. So yeah, I think you're right. I don't like vibing knowing that I can't get access to charging. Yeah.
But does the power bank is like a backup that you can charge your phone with? So it's charging the phone.
Yeah.
It's not charging a charger.
Yeah, but you have to charge that thing. That's why it's charger. So that's why I don't like it, actually, because there are too many things to charge. So you've got to charge your power bank or charger.
Yeah.
You've got to remember to do that and then take it out. It's like why I don't have an Apple Watch anymore, or because I have to remember. I have to charge my phone, headphones are usually charging, and it's just too much charging. So fuck it is what I say.
There is a lot to charge. I've recently got into now with our electricity provider here. This is like 40 plus.
I can see this story is going to be
chap.
Another rock and roll story, like your pillow. But yeah, keep going.
That we now have like a spot price on the electricity, so you track the price literally hour to hour.
I bet you're on that all day, aren't you?
I'm constantly checking it. And sometimes the dream, right? Sometimes it drops into, the price doesn't just reduce, but it drops into like minus money as a way of putting it. So you get money back by using electricity.
Oh, right. Okay.
The price is like, so it's when they have an oversupply of electricity, they actually want people to use electricity.
Okay, and they pay you for using it.
So at that point, you start. I mean, this happens rarely. You have to,
I bet that's why you check it hour to hour, because when that happens, it must be.
All of a sudden, it's just like, right, plug everything in. Headphones are getting charged. Watch is getting charged. Dishwasher's on. Sometimes I put the oven on just for fun.
Extra warmth in wintertime.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, that would be bloody good, actually. Yeah, definitely worth checking hour to hour then. So we've actually only just covered the first point of the podcast there. I was worried we weren't going to have enough. So next one, how many unread notifications are on your phone right now?
Email wise, I think it's often quite a lot. The number on the email app is quite high.
My number on my email app, I mean, let me just have a look. It's 5,485.
That's crazy. That's absolute madness.
But I mean, I do get emails from people that I just have no idea who they are. very rarely open. I would say 90% of emails I don't open.
There could be some reviews in there.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said we have a review. Yeah, not email is definitely not my forte because I've got like 5 email accounts as well, trying to keep. It's just too much. And well, this actually brings to the next one. What's your go-to excuse for not replying to a text/email for 3 days?
And these days, it's baby boom boom.
So you said I haven't responded to your email because I have a baby.
Pretty much. Just I'm a dad now. You can expect a response 3 days later.
Well, yeah, I think mine, and I think this is most people's, is sorry for the delay, been so busy, but I just think,
unspecific.
Yeah, and
busyness.
I think everyone is just so busy, aren't they? But in reality, I just couldn't be bothered sometimes. You see a message. You know, like for example, if I get a message from Mrs. R&R, I know that needs to be responded to very quick. If she sends me a message saying, for example, I don't know, what do you want to eat tonight or something like that? I'm at the supermarket now, and I respond 2 days later. She's not going to be happy. But if I get a message from someone and you immediately get the vibe, you think, I just haven't got the headspace for it. We were talking about this in our pre-podcast chat. There's lots going on. Sometimes you just think, I just can't be bothered.
Yeah, 100%. But I also think the amount of time now that I think has to pass before it requires an excuse or an apology is getting longer and longer.
Yeah, also true.
Yeah, because I actually think most people now totally understand. They're like, oh yeah, sure, that was 4 days ago. It's fine. You've been busy.
Totally.
It wasn't urgent.
Totally agree. But as I think we have mentioned before, the biggest crime in the world is the 2 blue ticks. Because so what I have to do now, you see the message, but don't actually open it, so they don't get the 2 blue ticks, but you know it's there. But you know what? That's the thing that I think drives me a bit crazy because you know it's there. It's the back of your mind. And you think there are so many of those messages and emails. I've got 5,485 emails at the back of my mind. So that's why I'm always so stressed.
I think you should, with the emails at some point, just click all, delete.
See, I did that a few years ago. But then, so I just put every email in my inbox, I just deleted because my inbox was full. And then it's happened a few times recently where you'd need an email from a few years ago, and then you're like, oh, yeah, no, deleted that.
That's true. Good. Yeah.
Didn't want the email anyway. So didn't want my car insurance that I needed to get. Didn't want that number. Didn't want, all of these really important information. Fuck it.
Yeah. 5,000 though. So that's a lot.
That is a lot, isn't it? Yeah. But there we go. But it's not WhatsApp. WhatsApp I've probably got about 5, I would say. Okay, so next one. So, okay, you get someone's phone number. Okay. So the reason I'm bringing this up actually is because at work recently, someone said to me, what's your number? So exchange numbers, like a colleague. And then he said to me, what's your surname? And I thought, why do you want that? That's for me. So I'm saving me, which I did to this person who I won't name. I'm saving my name as Martin Work. It's so much more simple. Like if it's surname, I'm not going to remember your surname. That's how do you save people?
Yeah, first name, and maybe if there's 2 of them, a letter or some kind of signifier, but very rarely surname.
Yeah. But surname is absolute nonsense.
This reminded me, and I don't know if this is still the case, but like years into my relationship with Mrs. Boom Boom, I realised she had me saved as Russell Cannon. Years in.
Just in case it's the other Russell, who probably texts me 50 times a day.
Yeah. His full name, no no signifier that was in any way a meaningful person, no
Yeah.
sort of like emoji or anything like that. Just,
But I mean, do you have that now? How is she saved in your phone?
I don't know. Yeah, she's just first name.
Right. Yeah.
She's, yeah, first name.
Um,
Keep it simple.
so Mrs. R&R, whose name obviously Alessia, she is saved as Alessia New. Because I got tired of the old Alessia, I got a new model.
Yeah, yeah. You're actually you're Mart New.
Right.
Showing
Mark
you that
New.
there.
Yeah, I can see that. Mark New.
Happy with that?
Well, I'm a bit disappointed that New doesn't have a capital N. That is something that drives me crazy. I'm like capital letters. That's why I think I do have like an OCD. If I see someone write their name, okay, New's not so bad. But if I see someone write a name without a capital letter, it drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah. Well, deal with it. That's who you are.
So
You're Mart New.
Mark New, yeah. So yeah, Alessia New. Obviously, I was joking earlier. I haven't changed them for a new model. It's just a new phone number. But I did quickly go through my phone, but just I only got to D, as you'll tell. So I found Alessia New, Alex Mortgage, Danny next door.
From the mortgage family. The mortgages down the road.
I've got Danny next door, and my favourite one, this is a recent one actually, is Dave Doorman. He's the man that's going to fix my door. So Dave Doorman. Because Dave, got loads of Daves. So I suppose could have just gone for Dave Door, but Dave Doorman, I thought.
He could be confused if you know a bouncer called Dave. Would also be a Dave Doorman.
Right,
yeah.
Right. It took me a while to get that. But doorman bouncer would be one word, or no?
It's like doorman.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The doorman.
Yeah,
the bouncer,
a bouncer
man.
called a doorman would be one word, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I've got two words, Dave.
Oh, I see.
Man.
Okay. Okay, because he's not a doorman. He's a
man who fixes doors.
He's a man who fixes doors.
Not a man who stops you walking in a door like a bouncer at a night.
He's a doorman. Get it?
Yeah.
So
I think the pronunciation is different. A doorman. Yeah.
Agreed. So there's still scope to meet a bouncer called Dave and him Dave Doorman.
One word. So Dave Doorman, capital letters on door and man. Just want to add because you've got me as Mart New, no capital letter, but whatever. So here's another one. This one I did think was crazy, but then I thought about it and thought, actually, I'd do this. So do you ever fake a phone call to get out of talking to someone? So like you want to avoid something, or you want to pretend you're busy? Have you ever faked a phone call?
I don't think I have. I don't think I have.
That taking it to a new extreme, like getting your phone out and pretending you're doing something. I think it's easier
I've done
now. Yeah, but it's easier now because you can just like get your phone out and go on social media. But in the Nokia days, sometimes I literally would just get my phone out and just start clicking buttons to
yeah, there weren't so many options, were there?
Because you had to start writing a message or just write a fake message to myself.
Yeah, or play Snake, but
exactly
that, maybe you want to look like it's more important than
exactly
you're playing Snake.
Whilst these days you can just sort of put your head in your phone and sort of pretend that you're busy. But yeah, so my fake phone calls now, it's not to get out of talking to someone. It is generally things with my daughter because, she's a very impressionable stage.
Okay.
And not that long ago, we passed a prison. And she said, like, what's that? And I said, well, people go there when they're naughty and they have to stay there and then they can't see their families and stuff. And she was quite shocked by this. So if she is not being so good now, I basically say, let me just call the police and they'll come to take you to prison. So I get the phone out. Hello, police. Yeah. And then that will be enough for her to stop doing. Now, I'm not really giving any parenting advice here. I'm not sure if you'll see this in any parenting books about what you should do.
How sort of far do you have to develop the conversation with the police before it has an effect?
Normally just hello, police.
It's enough.
Yeah.
She stops.
That's enough. I don't think the conversation's ever gone further than that with the police. Or it may have just like, hello, police. Yeah, I'm just here to tell you that Lara today, and then Like maybe that's maximum, and then it will stop. Yeah, recently I do feel like I've been a terrible parent. The other day she was having an absolute meltdown, like going absolutely crazy, because she'd just got into bed, and then she said that she wanted to go downstairs and have something to eat, and it was just an excuse to not go to bed. And she was going crazy, and then she stopped going crazy and then went to sleep. I went downstairs, and Mrs. R&R said, "Oh, you dealt with that so well. How did you calm her down?" And I was like, "Yeah, I told her because she had brushed her teeth, if you eat after that, your teeth fall out." So, why did you say that? Yeah, it worked, didn't it? I think it's a good rule to have. Like you brush your teeth for night, no more food.
Because your teeth will fall out.
Yeah.
So I think it sounds like solid parenting.
Exactly. Although, however, the thing I didn't think about was the next night when we got to that, she said, "I don't want to brush my teeth because then I can't have anything to eat and my teeth will fall out."
Yeah.
But then I told her, "No, it's safe."
It's backfired.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to stop the pod there, and it will continue in the Rock and Roll English family members area, where we talk about some childhood memories and some chit-chat things which are not safe for the public. So this is normally where I give you the vocabulary, but I have remembered what I was supposed to tell you at the start of the podcast, which is that audio quality is never quite as good when I record with Boom Boom. I won't go into the details, but yeah, apologies for that. But yes, I'm supposed to do the vocabulary now. However, I'm recording this intro and outro quite a few days before the podcast goes out because I'm going to Italy next week, and I'm not planning on bringing my microphone because when you travel with kids, you don't have that much space to bring things. It's all stuff for the kids. So unfortunately, there is no vocabulary today, but I will see you in a couple of weeks, and I hope you enjoyed the podcast. In the meantime, just keep on rocking, baby.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.